very tough injury to come back from, that kind of injury. I don't know the severity of it, but if he has broken his jaw, you know, it's a tough one to come back from. But he's a crazy fucker, and we take our hat off to him.
Inside reports confirm that after the brutal heavyweight war, Daniel Dubois personally visited Fabio Wardley in hospital while he is still recovering from serious injuries. The visit reportedly shocked Wardley as emotions from the fight were still fresh, but Dubois showed real class and respect towards his rival. Despite the violence inside the ring, both men proved outside it that there is mutual respect between true warriors after pushing each other to the absolute limit in one of the toughest fights of their careers.
Through the fights that he's been involved in, I mean, he's had a fantastic career, and I don't think this is the end of Fabio Wardley at all, but he showed that.
But I was surprised at the amount of shots that he took in the end, and that he wasn't out cold. That's what I was surprised about. And I said he's going to do very well to not get hurt in this fight. Unfortunately, he got badly hurt with the jaw. But
Heavyweight world champion, he took the WBO title off Fabio Wardley, and can I just say, what a fucking tear-up that was.
Don Charles believes Fabio Wardley has shut down all criticism about quitting with his performance in the brutal fight. He feels Wardley showed true warrior spirit and proved he belongs at elite level. Despite defeat, Charles insists there is still more success ahead for him in the heavyweight division.
Nobody could ever question this young man again. Yeah? All that quitting nonsense, nobody will ever question him again.
Two-time heavyweight champion of the world under you.
It sounds good, doesn't it?
It does.
There's more to come. There's more to come. We were in there with a very dangerous fighter in the name of Fabio Wardley. He should be proud of himself.
Derek Chisora raised serious concern about Fabio Wardley's condition during the fight with Daniel Dubois, suggesting the bout should have been stopped earlier due to the severe damage and bleeding. This directly connects to the hospital aftermath, where Wardley is now recovering after taking heavy punishment. It shows just how brutal that night was and why Daniel Dubois' visit carries extra weight, as both fighters went through a true heavyweight war that pushed them to the limit.
Listen, the fight was stopped in round 10 because his nose was bleeding so badly.
What's next to them? I'm hearing a rematch clause. If not, who do you want to see him fight?
Nobody wants to see the rematch.
The way Plamines raised serious concerns during the fight aftermath, pointing out visible issues that could affect Fabio Wardley's long-term boxing career. He admitted he is not a medical expert, but still questioned the condition Wardley was in after taking heavy punishment from Daniel Dubois. These worries now feel even more relevant as Wardley is reportedly recovering in hospital, showing just how damaging that brutal heavyweight clash really was and why experts are divided on his future in the sport.
Probably shouldn't be doing that, right? There he goes again. Now again, I'm no doctor, I don't know, but it does seem like that's a bit of an issue. And if
Frank Warren explained the medical attention Fabio Wardley received after the fight, confirming that doctors had to carefully examine and treat him before allowing any medication. His comments highlight how serious the situation became after the brutal contest with Daniel Dubois. It connects directly to Wardley's hospital recovery, showing that the damage was not just cosmetic, but required proper medical supervision, reinforcing how physically draining that heavyweight battle truly was for both fighters involved.
Doctor examined him, gave him some medication, but the medication he gave him obviously had to be checked.
Frank Warren reflected on the incredible clash between Daniel Dubois and Fabio Wardley, describing it as far beyond expectations and a true spectacle for boxing fans. He praised both fighters for their heart, especially the way they recovered from knockdowns and kept fighting with everything they had. His words perfectly connect to Wardley's current hospital situation, showing that while the fight brought glory and excitement, it also came at a very high physical cost for both warriors involved.
I said it, don't blink, it's going to be the most amazing few rounds. It was much better than that. It was just a phenomenal fight, phenomenal to watch, to witness and see these two guys, what they did, bearing their soul and getting off Daniel getting off the floor and canvas and coming back how he did. It swung both ways to fight, and it was just
Derek Chisora delivered a very harsh breakdown of Fabio Wardley's performance against Daniel Dubois, claiming he struggled badly with fundamentals and relied too much on power shots instead of technique. Chisora suggested Wardley did not use his jab effectively, which allowed Dubois to control distance and slowly break him down. This connects directly to Wardley's current situation after the fight, where many are questioning whether technical flaws contributed to the punishment he took and the injuries that led to his hospital recovery and shock retirement talks.
Fabio was not ready for boxing. He was no jab, nothing, looking for power shots. It's like he didn't train. He was too busy commentating. Little bastard. He was supposed to fucking train in the gym. How many jabs did Fabio chuck? Less jabs. He didn't chuck no jabs. He didn't do anything with him.
Buddy McGirt praised the intensity of the fight, but pointed out that Fabio Wardley's early knockdown changed everything in his approach. He believes Wardley became too focused on landing one big right hand instead of boxing smartly with combinations and defense. Despite the criticism, McGirt still acknowledged his heart and toughness, calling for a rematch. This shows that even experts who see flaws in his style still respect his warrior spirit, especially after the damage he suffered against Daniel Dubois and his current recovery phase.
Hell of a fight. I think the worst thing that happened was that knockdown in the first round. After that, Wardley was just looking for that right hand. No jabs, no defense, no left hook. Sorry, meat and chicken. You know what I mean? But it was a hell of a fight. He showed the heart of a champion, and I think there should be a rematch.
Daniel Dubois reflected on the mental and physical challenge of the fight, admitting he had to push himself into a dark place to come out victorious against Fabio Wardley. He described the bout as a real test of survival and mentality, where staying composed was the key to turning things around. His words also highlight how dangerous Wardley was in the fight, because even Dubois had to mentally reset and dig deep, showing the level of pressure and punishment both fighters experienced.
Yeah, I needed that slap just to wake up, stay in reality, it's just not slip, I got to dig deep. And as a warrior, you have to dig deep, because you've got to go to that dark place and come out on top.
Dominic Ingle described the fight between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois as one of the best he has ever witnessed, praising both men for their unbelievable toughness. He highlighted Wardley's refusal to quit even when exhausted and badly hurt, while also crediting Dubois for sticking to his strategy under pressure. Ingle's reaction connects strongly to Wardley's hospital situation now, as it shows just how much punishment he absorbed in a fight that pushed both fighters to their physical and mental limits.
I'll tell you what, it's one of the best fights I've ever seen. One of the best fights. Fair play to Fabio Wardley. What a hard man he is. He didn't want to quit, his corner didn't pull him out. And Daniel Dubois kept his composure. He kept his composure, stuck to the plan. He started to get a bit tired himself. He realised that Wardley has still got something in the tank. He kept pulling it out of the bag, he looked dead on his feet. But what a fight.
Fraser Clark admitted the fight between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois was more of a brutal war than a technical boxing match, but still delivered exactly what fans wanted. He praised both men for their toughness and willingness to stand and trade under extreme pressure. Clark also noted how Daniel Dubois adjusted after the knockdown, but Wardley's bravery remained the standout factor. Even in defeat, and now during his hospital recovery, many still believe Fabio proved he belongs in these high-level wars and can come back stronger if he continue. David Hay completely praised the heavyweight clash between Fabio Wardley and Daniel Dubois, calling it one of the most entertaining fights he has ever seen. He highlighted the non-stop action, bravery, and back-and-forth drama that kept fans on edge from start to finish. According to Hay, both fighters gave absolutely everything inside the ring, which is why the fight has already become a classic. This also connects to Wardley's current hospital recovery, showing how such an explosive war brings glory, but also serious physical consequences for both warriors involved.
I've never seen a heavyweight fight that captivating, that entertaining, round after round, backwards and forwards. The heart on these guys, the balls, the bravery. That's what you want to pay. That's what you want to. We hope every time we tune in for a heavyweight championship, you're getting that type of energy. They both gave everything they had. I could watch that 10 times over.
David Adeli gave a tactical breakdown of the fight, explaining how Daniel Dubois gradually built confidence through his jab while breaking down Fabio Wardley's offense. He pointed out that Wardley's right hand was repeatedly disrupted, which allowed Dubois to control the rhythm of the fight. Adeli believes this technical adjustment was the key turning point in the contest. It also shows how even at elite level, small technical differences can lead to massive consequences, especially in a fight that ended with Wardley taking heavy punishment and ending up in hospital after the battle.
He fought old demons when he got dropped. I think he started to think old demons when he started to think his things weren't working. But you know what was giving Daniel confidence? He kept landing a jab. Every time Wardley threw a right hand, Dubois would stick a jab and it would touch his target. That there was giving Dubois hope that, okay, then I can stand in front of my target and I can land with a jab. And he knew he was softening up Wardley with a jab as the round.
Daniel Dubois reflected on his emotional and physical journey during the fight, admitting he had to overcome nerves and find his rhythm after a difficult start. He praised Fabio Wardley as a true warrior who pushed him into deep waters and forced him to dig into his darkest mental place to secure victory. Dubois also spoke about needing a wake-up moment in the corner, showing how intense the fight really was. This further connects to Wardley's hospital situation, proving both fighters were pushed beyond normal limits in one of the toughest heavyweight clashes in recent memory.
What a warrior he is, and came through that test. You know, coming off the back of a loss, I was a bit nervy to start off with and a bit all over the place, but I pulled it together and got the victory.
Dave Coldwell was left stunned by Fabio Wardley's durability, praising his unbelievable chin and ability to stay on his feet despite absorbing heavy punishment throughout the fight. He emphasized that even after taking serious damage from Daniel Dubois, Wardley refused to go down, proving his toughness at the highest level. Coldwell described him as a fighter built differently, which explains why so many in boxing still respect him deeply. This is also why his hospital recovery is being closely followed, as fans know he endured one of the most punishing heavyweight battles in recent times.
What a fight! And what a chin! I can't believe, after all that, after all the punishment it took, Wardley's still never been down. Incredible chin. The man's built different. Unbelievable. And what a performance from Dubois.
Daniel Dubois reflected on his emotional and physical journey during the fight, admitting he had to overcome nerves and find his rhythm after a difficult start. He praised Fabio Wardley as a true warrior who pushed him into deep waters and forced him to dig into his darkest mental place to secure victory. Dubois also spoke about needing a wake-up moment in the corner, showing how intense the fight really was. This further connects to Wardley's hospital situation, proving both fighters were pushed beyond normal limits in one of the toughest heavyweight clashes in recent memory. David Adeli gave a tactical breakdown of the fight, explaining how Daniel Dubois gradually built confidence through his jab while breaking down Fabio Wardley's offense. He pointed out that Wardley's right hand was repeatedly disrupted, which allowed Dubois to control the rhythm of the fight. Adeli believes this technical adjustment was the key turning point in the contest. It also shows how even at elite level, small technical differences can lead to massive consequences, especially in a fight that ended with Wardley taking heavy punishment and ending up in hospital after the battle.
Yeah, it was just incredible. I couldn't believe what I was watching at times there. I mean, listen, it was all going wrong at the start, wasn't it, when Fabio put him down a couple of times, but Daniel showed the heart of a lion in there, got it together, got behind his jab, and really started busting Fabio up. And by the way, Fabio Wardley is one hard bastard. My God, what a hard man. So is Daniel Dubois. Two very, very tough, strong men going at it for the world heavyweight title.
Daniel Dubois reflected on his emotional and physical journey during the fight, admitting he had to overcome nerves and find his rhythm after a difficult start. He praised Fabio Wardley as a true warrior who pushed him into deep waters and forced him to dig into his darkest mental place to secure victory. Dubois also spoke about needing a wake-up moment in the corner, showing how intense the fight really was. This further connects to Wardley's hospital situation, proving both fighters were pushed beyond normal limits in one of the toughest heavyweight clashes in recent memory.
Yeah, well done, Daniel Dubois. Fabio Wardley, absolute warrior. It wasn't the most skilled heavyweight fight I've ever seen, but it was just what the fans wanted to see. The fans wanted that. I mean, that was blood and guts, but well done, Daniel Dubois. Good fight.
Dave Coldwell was left stunned by Fabio Wardley's durability, praising his unbelievable chin and ability to stay on his feet despite absorbing heavy punishment throughout the fight. He emphasized that even after taking serious damage from Daniel Dubois, Wardley refused to go down, proving his toughness at the highest level. Coldwell described him as a fighter built differently, which explains why so many in boxing still respect him deeply. This is also why his hospital recovery is being closely followed, as fans know he endured one of the most punishing heavyweight battles in recent times.